I know that if you ask a woman what she wants in a man, they give you a list of things that sounds good. But when it's right there in front of them, 9 out of 10 times, if they haven't worked on themselves or positioned themselves as their best self, they're likely going to run away from it. And in my marriage, when me and my wife first met, our first date, well, after our first date, a little bit after we had been together for a while, she told me that she almost didn't want to see me again, and it was nothing that I said or nothing that I did that made her not want to see me again. It was that when she saw me, she saw stability, she saw maturity, she saw that I had my life together, and she knew that had she pursued a relationship with me, she was going to have to upgrade herself. She was going to have to step her game up. She was going to have to become a better person than who she was at that point in time. And it wasn't that I was asking her to, but these are all self assessments that she was making on the fly in that moment. Now, granted, she made a good choice. She made a good choice because we've been married for almost 6 years. Well, our 6 year anniversary is next month. We have a beautiful 5-year-old terrorist. He is a out of control 5-year-old. He be making me want to drop kick him. But I say that because I saw this video and we're gonna watch it, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Oh, well, actually, it's two videos, but it is the antithesis of what I was just talking about. All right,
Right on, right on.
let me share my screen. You can see my screen.
I can see it. My favorite show.
Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
My name is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, how old are you?
I'm 28.
And what do you do?
I work as a surgical technologist. I assist my partners in our OR team during surgical procedures.
Okay.
And I'm also in school for biology, my bachelor's in biology. I model and act on the side.
Okay. And now, what are some things you like to do for fun?
Well, I do have a Harley. I don't ride it frequently, so whenever I can, I just hop on it, get on the ride.
Okay.
I know this may sound cliche, but I do like to read. Three of my favorite books is The Sixth Man by David Baldacci, The True Jesus Christ Unknown to Christianity by David C. Pack, and Gifted Hands by Ben Carson.
Okay.
I like to cook. I like to cook for others more so than for myself, especially my lady. I'm big on chess, critical thinker, so that go hand in hand. What else? I do like to travel. You know, I like to capture images of vast scenery and landscapes. I do work out, but I wouldn't consider that as fun because it's just more so of a priority for me.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, I like to go to the range as well whenever I can.
Okay. Now, what do you look for in a woman?
First and foremost, a woman that has a good relationship with God and Jesus Christ, someone who has a purpose in their life, good hygiene. I'm gonna say good hygiene.
Hold on, I gotta pause it real fast. Hey, what?
I already know. It's
Why
a
she
damn
popped
thing,
the
you gotta
balloon
ask
when
that
he
question.
said good hygiene?
And from my standpoint, I'm telling you now. You got to ask that question now, Juan. You have to ask that question.
It's just funny that I know it probably wasn't the timing, that she didn't mean to pop it on that, but the timing of it was
Yeah,
it tickled me when I saw this. All right, I'm gonna
yeah.
finish it up.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. And now, what are some deal breakers?
Infidelity. Infidelity is big for me. A manipulator, someone who's combative as well, argumentative, alcohol abuse, I want to say. A smoker, I don't mind marijuana, but cigarettes.
Yep.
I also don't mind children as well, but if you have like more than 2 baby daddies, that's a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
But I may be able to compromise with 2 or
Okay.
more than 2. Also, a woman that already have children, but you don't want any more, because I want kids, so that'd be a
Right.
deal breaker.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So we did get some pop balloons. Let's go on over there, see why they ended up popping.
Boy.
So let me pull up the other video. All right.
I think left to women's devices, they would want a man that's better. But I think what we're seeing now in our community, some women actually go after lesser value men because they're easier to control. right?
Ooh,
And a lesser
indeed.
value man doesn't necessarily and I've heard this from women. A lesser value man doesn't necessarily make you feel as
Secure.
insecure as a high value man, right? Like I've had one lady that I interviewed. She said that with a really good man, I feel like I got to get my stuff together tomorrow. Versus with Pookie and Ray Ray on the street, I'm the best thing that's ever happened to him. So in our community, you kind of find women who look for men that they can put in a more like submissive position, like a son. An ex-con, he needs somewhere to stay. He needs to drive your car. But an independent man who has a voice and you might have to follow his leadership. Not only are you not used to that type of dynamic because you've never had to follow a man's leadership, sometimes it's scary, man.
All right. Share your
Man.
thoughts on those two videos.
Well, they're speaking the truth. When you ask for something, and then when you see what you're asking for, you come to reality that, well, wait a minute, I'm not really ready to receive what I'm asking for. So you get scared. Now, they understand, a lot of women understand, yes, I want a man to pay the bills. I want a man who's going to be a provider. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Well, when they get in the presence of man and that man is confident, then they realize, well, this man has standards. This man, hey, if I'm going to pay all the bills and well, this is what's going to have to be done. Well, see, in their mind, they want to have the man to do all the stuff and be everything, but they still want to go out with their ratchet ass friends. They still want to gallivant out there in the world. Well, a man who has his stuff together, but see, he's not in that world. He's in his own world where he is the king of that world, and he's run on discipline. He has standards, and they know to themselves that they don't live up to that standard. And so, like this one gentleman says, they go and find these Pookies and Ray Rays. I know that for a fact. My ex, it was comical, you know what I'm saying? When I was playing stay home daddy, basically we was dependent on her income to live because I didn't want, you know what I'm saying, my child to be raised by other people in his family. But with her job being military, she couldn't say, hey, I'm gonna stay at home now. So she could go continue with her commitment. Well, as long as I was stay at home daddy and didn't do nothing, there was no problem. Well, daughter got a little bit older. All right, I went back to work, and for me going back to work and doing what I do, and you know what I'm saying, I became a higher earner than her. And at no point in time was I ever questioned or say, hey, I make more money, so that means I make the rules. But it was the simple fact that she felt that she lost control. Hey, when he going to work now, I know he's not at home taking me. What is he doing? Little things started happening, going through my computer and saying, following me and all this other little stuff. And it was just like, what? So our little situation broke up. Exactly what happened. She ran back to a convicted felon, a Pookie, and that's who she married.
Well, that's interesting. So when I think about the first video, right? Obviously, if we take a look at the guy is not a unattractive guy. Pause. He shows up, he's well dressed, he looks like he's got his stuff together. There are a few women who pop their balloons immediately. Okay, maybe there's not a physical attraction there. I would argue that to pop your balloon before the guy speaks when he's not an ugly guy is a bit premature. And I know they allow you to, in certain instances, to get your balloon back or whatever. But you pop it prematurely, and then he starts talking. And as guys, we immediately recognize like what he's saying. He's got protection down. He's got provision down. He's got all of these things set up. Because you heard him talk about his job. He's got a good job. He's well educated. He said he does go to the range. He said, the gym ain't really his thing, but he does do it. But he also goes to the range. So he showed provision and protection. You can see that by his temperament, that he's well-mannered, and that he, without actually getting to know him, the energy that he gives off is that he would be a good partner.
Yeah.
Like if he was one of my friends, just off of that, I would probably introduce him to some females that I thought would be a good fit for him. It wouldn't be any other of of, well, I don't have really friends like that.
Yeah.
You know what, and you know where I'm going down that road. And so
Dr. Warren can't say it, ladies and gentlemen. He don't have no ratchet ass friends.
I don't, and that's just never been my circle of friends, anyways. But once he starts talking, I don't understand why. I saw that there was one lady who still had her balloon, but I didn't understand why. I understood why the women that they started popping their balloons, and that's why I played the second video, because the second video kind of speaks to what my thought process was on why they started popping their balloons. Now, granted, I haven't went back and watched the full video, so I don't know necessarily the reasons why, but I thought about it when I was watching it, and then I thought about my story and how my wife almost didn't give me a second date, but it was because of when I showed up, I was super confident. I showed up, I worked at the embassy at the time, and so I had some slacks on, a button-up shirt with the vest on, with the nice tie to match. Boy was dressed. I was one of the best dressed in the embassy. I toot my horn a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I showed up dressed, and I've always been a relationship guy, so that's my energy anyways. But I got a good job, got a nice place, car, boom, my stuff is together. And so had she decided not to, her life would essentially be completely different than how it is now. Not to say that it would be good or bad, because we don't know, but it would be different. And so what this made me think about is that are women, no, let me rephrase that. Is there a certain segment of women that are afraid of men that have confidence, or that are stable, or that they have their life together?
Yes, they are, because you said in the beginning, you have to level up.